Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring a project that has sparked huge conversations across the crypto world, one that millions of people interact with every single day just by tapping their phones. You probably already know what I'm talking about, Pi Network. But what exactly is Pi? Why does it have such a devoted community? And why are so many people convinced that this project could eventually change the game? Let's dive in. The Pi Network was born from a bold but simple idea: make cryptocurrency accessible to everyone, not just those with expensive mining rigs or deep technical knowledge. With Pi, you don't need to buy specialized equipment or run up massive electricity bills. All you need is a smartphone and a habit of tapping once a day. That's it. Suddenly, crypto mining became something anyone could participate in, anywhere in the world. And that accessibility has been the fuel behind Pi's explosive growth. What started as an experiment quickly turned into one of the largest crypto communities on the planet, with tens of millions of people calling themselves pioneers. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum in their early days, Pi managed to capture massive attention even before its blockchain was fully open to the world. It positioned itself as a sleeping giant, a network building up energy and community first, waiting for the right moment to break out. The promise was simple: mine now, and benefit later. Of course, that later has taken longer than some expected, and critics haven't been shy about pointing out that Pi still doesn't have an official market value. Delays around Open Mainnet and regulatory hurdles have left many asking the same question: when will Pi finally take its place in the big leagues? Now let's talk about what making it big really means in crypto. For any project, the holy grail is getting listed on a major exchange. And when it comes to exchanges, one name towers above the rest: Binance. Being listed there isn't just about exposure, it's about validation. A Binance listing brings liquidity, real price discovery, and instant access to millions of traders worldwide. It signals that a project has been vetted for technology, compliance, and community strength. In short, it's a rocket booster that can change the trajectory of a coin overnight. For Pi, such a listing would silence critics, reward the pioneers who stuck with it, and turn what some call a social experiment into a global, tradable asset. But before Pi can reach that milestone, let's rewind and trace how it got here. The journey began on March 14, 2019, appropriately enough, on Pi Day. That was Phase 1, building distribution and community. The goal was simple: get the app into as many hands as possible. And it worked. By leveraging simple mobile mining and word-of-mouth referrals, Pi exploded in popularity, creating a network effect unlike anything most crypto projects have seen. Phase 2 focused on infrastructure. The team rolled out the Pi browser, Pi wallet, and nodes for testing. They also introduced KYC, Know Your Customer verification, an essential step for compliance, though admittedly frustrating for users because of its slow rollout. Then came December 2021, when the enclosed mainnet went live. At that point, verified users could migrate their balances into mainnet wallets, but the ecosystem remained a walled garden. You could use Pi within the network's apps, but you couldn't transfer it externally. This caused growing impatience as people waited for an open mainnet, yet despite the frustration, Pi managed to hold on to one of the largest and most engaged communities in crypto. The long process tested patience but also built resilience, keeping pioneers invested for the long haul. Just when people were wondering if momentum was slipping, big news dropped in mid-2025. The Pi core team announced a strategic partnership with Sign Protocol, a project focused on verifiable attestations. Now, why does that matter? Well, attestations are essentially proofs that something is true without revealing all the data behind it. Imagine it like a blockchain-based notary system. Instead of just taking someone's word, you get a cryptographically verifiable claim that can be trusted by apps, users, and institutions. This integration isn't just cosmetic, it's a deep technical deployment. Sign Protocol's attestation framework is being built directly into the Pi blockchain, meaning developers can use it to create more secure, transparent apps. Think about the possibilities. A user could prove they completed a task, verify eligibility for a discount, or establish their identity securely, all without exposing unnecessary personal details. It's an extra trust layer, and it makes Pi's ecosystem much more robust and ready for real-world use. More importantly, it's the kind of infrastructure that major exchanges like Binance pay attention to. After all, regulatory compliance and protection against fraud are top priorities for exchanges. If Pi can show it has millions of verified users and on-chain proof of authenticity, that's a massive step toward legitimacy. For example, imagine each KYC-verified pioneer receiving a non-transferable attestation token. That would serve as a cryptographic record proving that behind every account is a real person. It reduces the risk of bots, fake accounts, or fraudulent activity. From an investor's perspective, that kind of verified user base combined with actual utility beats pure hype every time. Suddenly, Pi isn't just a speculative token, it becomes a platform for trustworthy e-commerce, social services, and digital marketplaces. And this shift is crucial. For years, Pi has been making claims about its vision, but with on-chain attestations, it can actually back those claims up with verifiable evidence. This changes the conversation with potential partners and decision-makers. Instead of saying trust us, Pi can now say verify us. Which is exactly the language exchanges and regulators want to hear. Naturally, the news sparked massive excitement across Pi's community. Social platforms lit up with optimism. Many hailed the partnership as the missing link that could finally unlock Open Mainnet and major exchange listings. But seasoned voices in the space also advised caution. After all, the Open Mainnet still isn't live, and no official word has come from Binance or any other major exchange. Progress is clear, but so are the hurdles. Millions still need to finish KYC, apps need to prove their real-world usefulness, and Pi has to scale securely before it can truly compete. And of course, global regulations are a moving target that no project can ignore. Still, when you zoom out, this is arguably the most bullish development Pi has had in years. It represents a bridge from promises to proofs, from hype to verifiable progress. The community has already shown it can scale. The blockchain is up and running. And now, with an attestation layer in place, Pi has the chance to satisfy the trust requirements of the world's biggest exchanges. For pioneers who have been faithfully tapping their phones day after day, this moment feels like vindication. Your persistence helped build one of the largest grassroots crypto movements in history. Now, with partnerships like Sign Protocol in play, the groundwork for global adoption is stronger than ever. The sleeping giant is stirring, and if Pi can successfully roll out these new features while opening Mainnet, the next chapter could be transformational. So, will Pi be listed on Binance? Nothing is guaranteed. But one thing is clear, Pi is moving closer than ever to that possibility. The pieces are falling into place: community, blockchain, compliance, and now trust infrastructure. For a project that started with just a tap on a phone, that's an incredible journey. And the next steps could finally determine whether Pi makes the leap from an experiment to a truly global digital currency.